Boom. What's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about the stock that I've held onto for longer than any other stock in my personal portfolio, Waves Capital Day 1, and my favorite Bitcoin miner in the equity markets. You already know it's Riot Platforms, but just a heads up right off the bat, I'll probably call it Riot Blockchain half the time, just out of habit. Okay, so this video is going to be pretty simple, you guys. I simply want to talk to you about how far I think Riot can climb. Obviously, I'm a bull. How far I think Riot can climb over the coming month. I'm currently recording this on June 21st, summer solstice, mom's birthday, first day of summer, kicking it off strong in the crypto markets. And I want to let you know how high I think Bitcoin and Riot can climb over the next 30 days. So our target date will be July 21st. And for those of you who are watching in the shorter term, I also want to talk about, just July 1st targets, just because that's just over a week out, and let's spice it up a little bit, mix it up just a little in terms of price action. So that's the video, you guys. As always, we will kick it off, taking a look at Bitcoin, because obviously the price action of Bitcoin will heavily impact that of Riot. So take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the king, on an absolute tear. Gonna move this around a little bit because this is how it was structured in the newsletter. But Bitcoin looking amazing, obviously, really setting the tone for not only Bitcoin miners but the crypto markets as well. Render token, our number one, looking awesome. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what the rest of the month of June has in store and what July has in store as well for the portfolio too, because we've been looking good. So before we dive into the charts and talk technicals, you guys, if you want to trade with me on a day-to-day basis, if you want to know exactly which call options, I actually just established a brand new Riot call options position today. And hint, hint, that is also why the 7/21 date has some relevance. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But again, you guys, if you want to know exactly how I'm trading my personal portfolio on a daily basis, there's not only call options on Riot, but have 15 to 20 call options in there at any given time. You can know what I'm trading in terms of puts, in terms of how I'm hedging potential downside. Today, for example, we got to use some put profits in order to capitalize on some positions that were in the red, because although the crypto markets are looking strong, it was a pretty rough day in the equity markets. Okay, so if you guys want to know exactly how I'm trading on a daily basis, once again, it's the first link in the description, my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. Okay, you get everything that this little box right here entails for the price of $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months, or what I recommend, try it free for 7 days. The reason I have a free trial in place is because I'm confident in the product that I provide, and I take a lot of pride in it. So give it a shot. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe, but I trust you'll be sticking around. And if you do, welcome to Waves Capital in advance. And of course, you get my newsletter as well, my daily newsletters. If you want daily updates, if you don't want to wait a couple weeks for a video on some of our favorite plays, whether it's C3 AI, Matterport, Riot Blockchain, of course, all these names, Render token, I cover them every day. This is an example of the newsletter that I just wrote right before I sat down to record this. So again, this is my second newsletter of the day. Write these every single trading day. Go over price targets. Go over, again, covered some of our favorite names, some of our bigger plays, and of course, Render token and Riot. So again, you guys, if you want those daily updates, if you just want my daily take and just my thoughts on a day-to-day basis, also cover the macro backdrop as well, because that's always important. First link down below, plug over. Let's dive into the charts. Okay, so Bitcoin on an absolute tear. Looking at the volume, 2x average volume. Amazing. And the reason for that simply is because we broke resistance. This was a huge deal, and I've been talking about this. Definitely covered this in our last video, but in the newsletter almost every day as well. Been saying so much, so often, that once this line of medium-term resistance that's been in play since April 14th is broken, so it's over 2 months now, once this line is broken, it's off to the races. That's what we saw yesterday, and for the past just 24 hours or so now at the time of recording, once again, Bitcoin's just been on a freak. The king's been on a conquest. The Bitcoin is on a rampage. And although we are seeing a little bit If we go to the 4 hour, you can see how like the RSI on the 4 hour is like literally off the charts. It's not even rendering. So we got very, very oversold in the short term. It's not surprising to see that, we're starting to pull back a little bit. Also, seeing a little bit of resistance at the Bitcoin's prior high that we saw back in April that really kind of kicked off the beginning of that downtrend. But again, that mid-April high of $31,000 was retested. Makes sense once again, along with the fact that we were getting so overbought in the short term. Makes sense that did prove itself as a bit of a ceiling, but ultimately, I do think that we make our way to the top end of this channel because, it's every freaking trader who's trading Bitcoin is looking at this ascending channel right here. Super clear line of resistance. This is actually a conservative line of resistance. You guys know that's the actual line of resistance right there. But as a trader, I like to just keep it conservative. Don't get greedy. I don't like the fact that, we can even go right there. I don't like the fact that these are all wicks, right? And that's what a lot of people are thinking as well. Again, you have to understand that most traders are looking at this trend line. And as a trader, you want to front run the competition, okay? Again, I'm not saying this will probably come into play just because that's how Bitcoin works, but don't get greedy. That's what I've learned over my many years of trading and getting greedy. So learn by trial by fire. But again, I'm looking at this. My price target for Bitcoin is going to be about $39,000. Also, 40K coming in as a strong psychological even. So 39K is my price target. I do think it's possible by July 21st. I actually think it's possible. Say we rip over the next week or so. Say we rip into the month of July. Whereas July 1st is right there. So is it possible that we see a 23% pop over the next 10 days or whatever, 8 to 10 days, 30 days in June, right? Regardless, 8 to 10 days, 23%. It's Bitcoin. It's entirely doable. See how much we popped just in the past. Just in the past couple of days, we've already rallied over 15%. So in the span of a week, is a 23% move up possible? Absolutely is. And even if not, I think even if we do pull back in the short term, I think ultimately we will make our way up by the month of August, very conservatively speaking, to $39,000 to test the top end of resistance, which would lead to a 30% gain from here over the coming month or so. Okay, so that's a pretty, again, you guys, it's Bitcoin. We've seen this thing move 30% in 24 hours. Okay, so this is fairly conservative, but I feel that's the most responsible angle to take when I'm recording videos like this. So as always, you guys, the same goes for Riot. Draw these lines on your charts. It's not hard. If I can do it, you guys can do it. I trust you can. But again, if you do just want to look at my charts every day, first link down below once again. So that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Riot. Before we do that, I forgot I had this. So we have to cover a little bit of fundamentals. We're not going to dive into the specifics of any of these news stories today. You guys can all just go Google them for yourself and read into it if you do want to dig deeper. But the fundamental momentum is there. Okay, technicals matter, but technicals matter a whole lot more when you have a fundamental catalyst that reinforces those base technical beliefs. Okay, so Bitcoin looking amazing. Bitcoin is riding the momentum of the BlackRock Coinbase deal, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF using Coinbase as a custodian. Good old Larry Fink. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, multi-trillion dollars in assets under management, which is just insane to think. So BlackRock giving Bitcoin the cosign is huge. You have, Schwab and Fidelity backed, and I know Citadel actually has a stake in this crypto exchange EDX that's going live very soon. Ken Griffin, this dude has been outplaying the markets for the past 3 years. One of the most prominent hedge fund managers and hedge funds in the game right now. So quant funds, that is as well. So there's a lot of momentum fundamentally behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and obviously Bitcoin miners as well. So Riot blockchain. What's going on right now? Bitcoin, we just saw Bitcoin broke its line of medium-term resistance right here. Why isn't Riot doing it? I think a big reason Riot wasn't able to do it today is because, the markets overall, the NASDAQ was down like 1.5%. So if the NASDAQ was up today, I think Riot would have easily broken above this line of medium-term resistance right here. Wasn't the case, but hey, gave anyone who may not be positioned or wanted to position heavier, position themselves in a heavier way, I guess, take advantage of it. And as I alluded to earlier, that's what I did today. And again, if you guys are part of the portfolio, you would know exactly what that means. But Riot is still trapped under this line of medium-term resistance. Will it break out? Given the momentum we just discussed, fundamental momentum, given the technical momentum Bitcoin's seeing on the charts, I think 100%. In my mind, obviously I can't guarantee anything. Nothing's guaranteed. But the volume's picking up. There's no bearish divergence to be seen here. Daily RSI just curled to the upside. RSI is above exponential moving average, which is also bullish. Strong buy on both analyst and technical ratings. On TradingView, that's always the cherry on top. I think a breakout, in my mind at least, is inevitable. And I do think that's similar to Bitcoin. What Bitcoin just did, Riot will do the same and retest the high we saw back in mid-April. Okay? I think by July 1st, Riot will climb another 24% to reach a price of 14. Just call it $14, just to, again, edge on the side of, edge on the conservative side. But ultimately, I do think that my second macro target of $17 can be tested by July 21st. The reason, it's not only a month out from today, but it's also the expiration date on a lot of, it's a pretty significant options expiration date on a whole lot of financial instruments, on options contracts, on equity index futures, etc. So we're going to see a lot of volatility. I do think that volatility will favor the bulls, and that's why I think that it's very possible that Riot sees $17 by July 21st, which is a month out from today. Okay, so on that note, I also think that it's possible if Bitcoin really starts heating up, say Bitcoin shoots to 40, 50K even, I think it's entirely possible that Riot tests the top line of resistance on its long-term channel. Again, when we look at Bitcoin, zoom out, Bitcoin has been in this uptrend, in this ascending channel since, January, since the beginning of the year when everything started ripping again. The good times started rolling again. Riot is in a similar ascending channel now, just a whole lot steeper. You guys know how Bitcoin miners work. That is the ascending channel Riot's in. If Riot does test the top line of resistance on this ascending channel by July 21st, that would lead us to a $22+ Riot Platforms. Okay. Riot Blockchain, one of my favorite stocks in the market. Again, a stock that I've held since 2017. I'm pumped to see what it can do. Let me know how high you guys think Riot can climb over the next 30 days in the comments down below. And again, if you want to trade with me on a daily basis, that's the first link in the description. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And once again, I'll talk to you in the comments downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.